Oy. Okay, hello. What's up? It's V, obviously. Quick, shout out and thank you to, this is a horrible camera angle. Thank you, really quick, to, I know I'm not in makeup. I was about to get ready for bed, and then I had a knock on my door, and, somebody got me stuff from my Amazon wish list. Thank you to the fan of mine, big thank you to the fan of mine that sent me these things, because not only does it help me out in making more stuff, but a lot of the stuff on that list is for cosplay, and it allows me to build new cosplay things sooner, because quite frankly, like I've said in past cosplay videos, cosplay and I are weird. It's an OTOB thing, on time, on budget, you know, sorta, and I only make things when I need them. I've been designing new, this is spoiler alert, this is gonna be I don't know if I'm gonna break this video up into parts or just have a really long fucking video, but I've been wanting to do a, you know, good, like, three-dimensional tail for a really long time. Like, a really long time. So, I've, like, basically spent the last few months designing one in here and writing it down on paper a little bit. And we now have material to start. So, quick thank you to the customer of mine, to the fan that sent me these. You have no idea how happy you made me today. You made my day. You did. You did. So thank you. Everyone thank them. I'm not going to tell their name, keeping them anonymous, but if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be making this at this point. It would have been, like, you know, who knows how many weeks, months maybe later. So thank God for them. Oh, they are the night. I am so fucking blessed to have people that buy me materials to make things I want to make. Holy fuck. Makes me kind of want to cry, honestly. Because, like, dude, it's like, it's hard to buy, like, materials for cosplay and shit when I'm doing all this stuff. And it's like, happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. We're not gonna worry about, yeah, we're not worrying about sad stuff right now. Oh my goodness. They got me. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't. I think I know what this is. Big air dry clay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think there's actually even more on the way if I checked my list appropriately. I have a lot of plans. A lot of plans. Believe me. So, yeah. A lot of plans. A lot of plans. For all of this. I want to go put this on really bad. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go put that on and we're gonna wear it in the video for fun. Boop, boop. I've actually wanted a wetsuit for a really long time, so it's pretty sweet. I finally got one. Thank you. Thank you. Why wet? People are like, why a wetsuit? Why do you want a wetsuit? I don't know. Like, if you haven't noticed, like 90% of my wardrobe is either black, white, or like 90% is black, and then 10% is either white or rainbow. So I just like trying different materials and kinds of clothing, and plus I love playing in the water. Don't know if I uploaded that vlog yet. maybe. Anyways, yeah, the one where I get stuck out in the desert trying to go to a beach. Anyhow, I like playing in the water, and I like clothes that I can wear in like any environment, even if like. And I think wetsuits don't look half bad, in my opinion. That's just me. You know, teach their own. But thank you. Oh man, I'm gonna keep saying thank you. I'm gonna keep saying thank you this whole fucking time. I didn't shut up. I didn't shut up. Basically, the tail part of it. If you haven't noticed, all of my tails that I've made. That's tail version 2 over there. I have a spade spear on the end. I'm keeping that in the design because I like it and I think it looks pretty. So I'm going to be, unfortunately, having the worst part of this build. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I think it's either going to be claying all of the scaling length that I'm planning on doing, or it's going to be building the spearhead out of clay. No more Mrs. Nice Dragon when it comes to cosplay. I'm gonna now really show you guys my abilities. But yeah, really when it comes to cosplay, you know, we all can afford to do and make with our abilities at whatever. Just as long as you're trying to, you know, do something that's, you know, fun for you, good. Do that. No matter how good or bad. I've been making Scalie stuff since I was like 19. I'm 25 now, and I've never gotten a chance to make something this nice, so I'm very happy. Benefits to wearing a wetsuit is if you get clay on it, you can wash it off and it doesn't matter. Just saying. We got part 1 done. It's like 2 a.m. now, but I kind of cut off the camera time lapse because I was too lazy to clean my hands and get it fixed up. But so I sculpted the bottom tray for what's gonna be the silicone pouring for the bottom half of the tail. So the top half is going to be more scaly and it's going to take longer, so. So, yeah, I already broke it up because it was working, but dried too thin. And it's not like I couldn't make this work, it's just I want something more precise. I want something more precise than this. So, hopefully we can salvage all this clay by just throwing it in water. It's the beautiful thing about clay. Oh yeah, and it's covered in all this shit because somebody kept stepping on it. I wonder who that was. I wonder who was stepping on the clay. Guilty. Guilty. So did a block of clay to do a new pattern. I'm gonna do a new different technique this time. I'm gonna do something that is gonna probably work better. So yeah. Hi Ray. She came inside in front of the camera. I think she wanted to be on. Anyways, thank you again to the person that sent me these. I got the other materials today, so gonna do a new method for the silicone mold on the pouring because the way I did it initially, I wanted to do it as one solid piece so it's nice and smooth, but I'd have to get more clay and time and everything, so I think I'm going to do it in a bit different way, which you'll see here in a second how I'm going to, but yeah, got that ready. I just have to share this. It's so squishy. It's so squishy. It's so squishy, guys. It's squishy. I just want to sit here doing this for hours. It's horrible. Okay, hello. So, update. This I already love. I picked memory foam for the insert. Oh, it's so squishy. It's so squishy. It's so squishy. Anyways, this is the fill for the tail. As you can see, that's the outline, that's the start, and then that'll be the end. So, we're gonna cut it out with a foam cutter. Probably gonna do some tests on that shit, but it's so squishy. Honestly, I kinda don't wanna cover it in silicone almost, but we're covering it in silicone once it's ready. And we did a slightly different method for what was going to be our cast for the silicone. Initially I did it all in one piece, but I made it too thin and I was really too lazy to remake the whole length. And also my cat Ray kept stepping on it. She didn't like that version, so she's fine with this version. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour it. We're gonna pour sections from here to here, and then hopefully once that dries, since silicone adheres to silicone, I can just keep adding, you know, layers out and just like kind of print it out by pouring silicone and having it, you know, dry to itself. At least that's the plan. If it doesn't work, then, you know, I'm sure contact cement and Gorilla Glue will be used. So I like cutting foam. It's very fun and satisfying, and the mess is just as pleasant as the foam itself, which is so fucking squishy. Anyhow, yeah, got the basic articulated part of the tail done. Chain for the back, obviously this is gonna be where it meshes to my waist with a belt, but all this is gonna be covered in silicone, so you're not gonna see purple squishy foam, even though it's so wonderful. It's so wonderful. When I was cutting this, it's very toxic because you shouldn't be, you know, melting foam, but I was cutting this, I was like, oh my god, it looks like purple cotton candy, and then I just wanted to eat it. Then I just wanted, yeah, I swear I'm sober. I am. Anyhow, yeah, so this is done. I wanted articulated now, honestly, but I'm gonna go to bed. It's pretty late, I don't know, but I figured I'd at least show the camera, you guys, to see what it kind of looks like. So, Obviously there's going to be little gaps in between here, but I'm pretty satisfied with that already. Even though yes, I know the cuts are rough, but it's a foam cutter, like, it's a cheap one, and it's gonna be covered in silicone anyway, but yeah. I like it. I might trim it up a little bit. I haven't made up my mind yet if I want it as thick as this. I think I do. All the tails I've done up till today have been rather thin, so I think this will be a nice change, and yeah. So the plan after this, or tomorrow I should say, once we're fully ready for this phase, it'll probably be tomorrow, honestly, is we're gonna drill some holes through all this and then contact cement this in as the cabling that's gonna hold all these parts together. That way the tail actually can articulate and move and, like, you know, like an actual tail. Anyway, yeah, you'll see what I mean. I will continue this when I have the time. Isn't that cute? I made a little pyramid. Aww. Here I have the smoothest, I smoothed this thing so well. Look at that, oh my god. By hand. That was smooth by hand, baby. And it is the straightest fucking, like, curve I've ever made into sand clay. Or into clay, as the made ever sanded. And that was gonna be the mold for the tail. And in my insolent foolishness, I tossed this down and it broke. I really want to get a 3D printer and do this now, because I feel there's like the clean lines are gonna look so good out of the 3D printer. But a 3D printer is money. How much money? Maybe I should sell something. Maybe. Hold on one moment. Hold on one moment. Oi. Ay, Jesus Christ. Didn't expect it to be this big. That's what she said. Oh God. Ay. Oh. Okay. So, when I say I have the best fans in the world, I mean it. Thank you so much. Actually, the same fan is supporting like all of this shit through my Amazon wishlist. So, thank you. I seriously cannot thank you enough. Again, at the beginning of this, I planned on carving it out of clay. It's why I did this. I had clay tools, you know. Clay is cheap. Clay is cheap. Polyurethane is cheap. I was going to carve my scale pattern into this clay block and then pour my silicone into here to make my skin for the tail. But now that I have this thing, well, I might as well use the high precision and accuracy of a 3D printer if I have it, you know. I haven't CAD modeled anything since high school. I was fortunate enough to have 3D printers in my high school because I was in the robotics team, but now I will thank you for the clay. I will still use the clay for something, I'm sure, but because I love molding clay, actually it's very fun. But point is, now we can do this, so time to build it. Time to build it. Severe anxiety. Oh. Also, it's a little bit bigger than I expected, but not complaining. This is the first time I've ever owned a 3D printer for myself. I've always kind of wanted one, but I never really had a reason to buy one until now. Or get one. Thank you again to who sent me this. They're an awesome person. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the part that I didn't want to do. Oh goodness. Ah. Oh yeah, that's good. Wait. In you go, you. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. This is like Christmas for me. I am actually incredibly happy. Thank you so much. It's auto leveling right now. So it's got to do calibration and stuff. Like I said, last time I've used one of these was really back in like high school, and I'm 25 now, so it's been a hot minute. And good God, I could sit on this thing. I could sit on this thing. I've never had such a big printer, so I am incredibly fucking blessed to have someone that was willing to support me enough to get me this. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, really. Thank you. And now, after this is done calibrating, we'll run a test print. I think I'm just gonna make like a ball or something. And then if I can do that, then I will start running a print for my mold, which means I have some 3D modeling to do. Oh boy. So it's doing a little bit of a test print right now. I'm just printing a little ball to make sure I got it set up properly and it's working alright before I start working on printing a big ass mold for silicone. So thank you. I am so saying it again. I am so fucking blessed to have been sent this. Thank you to the fan that sent it to me. I'm literally, honestly, so goddamn fortunate. I'm gonna put this to use. Oh, look at that! A 59mm ball. Why 59? Because the digital root of this ball is 5, and the, 9 is a sacred number. Anyways, but also, a long time, like a month ago, I had a dream where I was, lucid, so I was conscious in the dream, aware of what was going on, and I was playing fetch with my first ever pet animal that I was with in my biological family, my dog. He's a white Westie, when I was a little kid, and I was playing fetch with him in the dream with a ball that looked exactly like this. It's like white ball. It was this size, like fit in my hand just like this. So when I was thinking of something to test the printer, I was like, oh, let's manifest the thing from the dream. Anchor it. Also, the symbolism for a white ball is like hope, joy, enjoyment, fulfillment, like, new beginnings, like all sorts of stuff can be symbolized by a white ball. Anyhow, so, time to go model. Time to go model. It has been a minute since I've done CAD modeling, so, like since high school, so forgive me. Thank God for free CAD. Okay. Oh. So, like hours later, I got that, which is my first official stencil. I don't know if you guys can see because of the shading, but it's gonna be a mold of scales for skin that I'm gonna pour silicone into. So I also need a block to separate that when it's time to push it in together to mesh it. Anyhow, should probably make 2 of those, one that goes flush and then one that goes flat. Yeah, I'll make 2 of those. Anyhow, I know I could have assembled that in FreeCAD, all those shapes together, but and I'm sure there's an easier way to do it with patterns and shit, but I didn't want to learn that and I was lazy, so I just took it into you can import shit into Tinkercad. So at that point, Tinkercad just becomes like, design whatever part you need outside of Tinkercad, and then if you want to go play Minecraft instead of, you know, learning a modeling program, you throw it into Tinkercad. Jesus Christ. Anyways, I am going to now get this rendered, and we will continue. I could always sit and watch these things go for hours like a little kid watching a washing machine. It's always so pretty to me. It is. It's only gonna take... I have no idea how long this is gonna take. It's gonna be a while. We'll resume this once it's done. Oh, it's almost done. It's almost done. Yeah. Not bad for my first go at this. I haven't 3D printed anything in a long time. Long ass time. Took only 33 hours to print that. I definitely made it too big, like bigger than I needed to. Wasted a good amount of plastic. Not great. Not great. But also the plastic is pretty cheap, so it's not like it matters too much. I just woke up, obviously. I look like it. That is one smooth ass bottom. Smooth bottom. So I'm smooth. Really puts it into perspective. Oy, really puts it into perspective. This one, this print. How bad I did on this one. Because this is like 10% fill using a triangle pattern. This is the mold for the bottom plate. I actually have all the materials to start pouring the silicone now, so we can, I guess, start that today maybe. And this is the scale top mold. Like I said, on this one I wasted about like, oh man, like an inch almost of solid plastic, which really sucks. But you know, live and learn, as they say. There you can see the concavity that way. See how much is not needed. Yeah, and that's solid. That's solid PLA right there. Yeah, live and learn. But so I had this ready for the top. I was planning initially to do a multi, like a different mold, so I was planning to do like this size and then have a smaller set for like halfway down the tail over there. But the way that this currently is spaced out, I can maybe do 5 castings of this mold, at least lengthwise, up and down, not widthwise, and I can cover that tail to the end point. We're still gonna have to either sculpt the end point with foam or design it, mold for it with 3D modeling. I think we're going to 3D model it because if we were to design the end piece of the tail with foam clay, then we're still gonna need to make a mold of the foam clay, which would probably be out of the silicone itself. Oh yeah, we got the silicone finally. Ah, whole gallon of silicone mix. That makes me happy. And there's our colors. So, and our very sketchy mold release. This is the liquid form of the kind that's in spray bottles, and it comes with all these warning labels. I called the manufacturer the other day. I was like, hey, it's like very highly flammable. You know, flammable gases, be very cautious. If they settle on your ground, you know, near you, you can accidentally, you know, they can settle and kill you, you know, so I called the manufacturer. It should be okay. I know how to use it precautionally. Anyhow, so I think I'm gonna do 5 castings of this for the tail top. This will be the bottom plating for the tail. That's why it just kind of keeps it simple, keeps the build time down a little bit. I'll probably, if I have time to make more of these in the future, which I'm sure as long as I live, I'll probably be improving this stuff. I'll make new molds, new tails, new designs, something a little bit better. Like, this isn't bad for my first go, but it's definitely not perfect. It's definitely like, but also I haven't poured it yet, so I won't really, like, I know what I want it to look like out of the mold in the 3D form, but you know, it's kind of hard to tell perfectly how the negative is gonna come out. I know what I want it to look like, so it's gonna maybe take a few more attempts in the future to get a better one, but right now with what we got, we're just gonna clean these up, sand them, try that. Hopefully this is good. Gonna have to sand this angle because it is completely meant for, like, I don't know if you can see that, It's got concavity downwards. God, I love 3D printers. That is just perfect. That's perfect watertight machine tolerance. Done in a matter of moments. Like, it's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Like that, the tolerance is really the most impressive thing with these. Anybody that knows about the building parts that fit together, tolerance is a bitch. This shit immediately alleviates that. I mean, there's a slight gap there, which I'm not a fan of. A slight gap there. Probably should have pulled those walls all the way out. I didn't. That's definitely my fault. But we can fix that real easy. There's the molds. I already got them covered. And mold release. This shit sketched me the fuck out, but it's fine. I did some test molds last night. I wanted to make stoppers for glassware, you know, like rubber stoppers, which I did a small test batch just to see like what it would look like once it's dry, and also to get a rough idea of how I should be using my glitter inside the mold. So I got these out. Not bad. Like, they work. Like, they're definitely not bad. The only problem, and the thing that made me really upset, is these corks, these stoppers, are like perfect. But I looked up before I started using it, like on my, you know, like food and stuff. These things, even like on the water bottle, this kind of silicone, skin safe, fine. It's fine for skin contact, any amount, but it is not food safe, apparently. Which I'm gonna call them and double check, but if it's not food safe, I'm not gonna use this to plug my water bottles. Not worth it. I don't like bottle caps, these are way faster. Anyhow, silicone's fine. I tried to do some glitter white in there, but it's too hard to see. Like, you can kinda see it. So I think I have a better idea. I think I'm going to put the glitter down in a layer first, like painting it, and then I'm going to do the fill on top. I'm probably gonna start with the diamond first. So this is gonna be all time-lapsed because it's gonna take a while. This is always the hardest part for me, is because I have, like, you know, I've been waiting for months to build this whole thing. Months, I tell you. And I'm still like, God, I still have to make all of the skin molds, and then I have to design and print the end piece and the harness for my body. So I think it's probably gonna be at least a day or two, which is not good because it means I'm gonna start working on this non-stop until it's done. So, time lapse, go. But holy shit, I actually really like it. I do. I did totally screw up. See, the scales I designed were really long because I wanted them to overlap, and to be like actually textured here. Like, see, like, look, like there's actually another axis on it, so they'll move and stuff. But because of how I designed it, with this like top casting mold, like I had to do something, and I didn't want to make a I considered making an enclosure, like a two-piece mold, where I would have had fuck. This camera. Oh my god. Yeah, I considered doing a 2-piece, but I didn't really care for it. Like, I did just the one. I could have done the mold 2-layered, like glued it together to give it a lot of Z, but I wanted it to be smooth on the bottom, and also just, I don't know, I was lazy, didn't want to do that, so the concavity is a little rough, because I wanted to make it really pointy, like really pointy, but because of that, if I pulled it out in the wrong direction, I tore some of them. See, not perfect, especially on the sides, because I didn't leave enough gap for myself. But I can probably clean that out. I definitely should have done this wall barrier at a different, I should have cut this back about 10mm on both sides, but it's whatever. It looks good. I think it looks good. Dude, I kind of want to make leggings out of it. Like, I'll obviously do a different pattern, but that is, let me tell you, it feels scary and real. Like Hollywood costume level. Like if you want me to look like a space alien for a movie, I could easily put this on. Just make a whole body casting of stuff like this. Done. That would be sick. That would be, might have to do that. Might have to do that just for fun. I got all the skins done. It is pretty good. I think it's good. I think it's good. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's good. It makes me really happy, actually. But yeah, so there's the bottom plates, and there's the top plates. I am so sorry to all mold makers ever. I wasted a lot of silicone experimenting with different designs. Even tried policking a little bit of it. But I ended up going with just clean diamonds. And I had a gallon of silicone, and that stuff doesn't stay good forever, so like, you know, I have spare silicone now for making molds, so it's like, I'm not wasting it. But I did have a lot of bad attempts. Or at least, I did a lot of attempts that didn't turn out very well. So now I think the plan is, I have to print an end piece, which I designed, and a way to attach the belt here. So I think the plan is essentially to contact cement to foam, and then we'll trim it, and then we'll do a silicone seal, and we'll like, I'm gonna do a lot, I'm just gonna time lapse it. There's gonna be a lot of steps to this. I don't even know if I'll record the whole thing. We'll resume it when we're at the task. So I decided to seal them as one piece before I do the actual thing with silicone glue. Like I pre-mixed some silicone and put it a fine layer in between there. That is completely watertight, which is awesome because I can hold this whole thing and it's now one piece. Honestly, I should have just made the molds like for this way more complicated. I should have made it in parts and then cast the whole like thing as one big piece. It would have been way cleaner, honestly. But you know, I didn't want to spend that much more time CAD modeling since I already was CAD modeling for like a week-ish. And I wanted something, you know, me and patience. I'm not a patient at all. I'm not patient at or shit. No. I'm not patient. Anyhow, I'm sorry, I'm trimming it. Anyways, I am still very happy with how the skin came out. Very clean, honestly. So now, this is like more than I need, which is the other problem. If I was making this again, or when I make this, when I get around to making version 5, because this is version 4, I am definitely gonna do one big mold and just pour it all at once, and that way I can get way more creative, symmetric, consistent with all the shaping, and it'll just fit nicer, and I'll waste a lot less silicone. Cause like I could probably pour 4 to 5 tails worth of silicone out of that gallon if I had a more efficient way to do it. Cause like I'm gonna be cutting off a bunch of this. Also, this is my bottom piece. I don't know if you can tell, but it actually came out really good. Like, here's the problem. It came out too good. It's like, those are the spikes. So when it's like wrapping on the bottom, it'll be like spiking. I tried to make it as lightweight as I physically could. But because silicone is dense as shit, not a problem. This is way too heavy. Like, this is like, this one piece is maybe twice or 3 times the weight of all of this, and this is going to get trimmed, and this is too heavy. So, this is really too heavy. Way too much material. Like, if I spent more time on the mold, I would definitely make this smaller, but you know, you gotta do stuff to learn from it. So, you know, as a first try attempt, because I've never poured silicone before, I think this is still a pass personally. But yeah, so I think now we're gonna contact cement the layers to that, and then I'm gonna do it just on the vertical, and then I'm gonna zip tie it in place. Maybe we'll zip tie it after the first time contact cementing it. Yeah, so contact cement does not it kind of works, not good enough. So new plan, and my print stopped halfway, unfortunately, because I actually really don't know why the print paused, but it's good because I'm going to redo this topology. I think that needs to be a bit wider to have a good balance of the size. I think it's a little small right now. Anyhow, so I'm gonna redesign, which means this is probably gonna get extended to the end of the day now, which sucks because I wanted it to be ready for filming today, but not gonna happen. So yeah, I guess I'm down to this decision of, do I want to make this smaller, or do I like where it is? I don't know. We'll resume the time lapse when I am zip tying it together, because that zip tying and then sealing these two halves with silicone is going to be really the only way I can get this closed, because this just does not work at all, which really sucks. But now to get it ready for zip tying, we're gonna have to cut it down this size. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I got it zip tied. Sorry, ads. I watch YouTube while I work. God. Anyhow, I really like it. It's zip tied currently, so time to glue it. And we'll glue it by doing a line of silicone in here and a line of silicone in here. And that should bind the two surfaces together. I really like it. A lot. I'm happy about it. I forgot that it was still really heavy. So I kinda carved out all the spikes, which really sucks. The bottom was supposed to look like this underside here, this plating was supposed to be more three-dimensional. I just cut it out because it was a lot of weight. Like, it's still heavy. It definitely needs a redesign. Like, my method is gonna get redesigned, and I know that this needs redesigned. But it's just gonna be what it is. It's gonna be what it is for now. Little heavy. The last pieces are finishing up nicely. So time to film gluing it, I think. And if everything goes well, it should be done by tomorrow. So yeah, I got the plates done. Signed my work too, and that little emoji, and that's the new tail, spade shape, which I like a lot more, honestly. Then yes, I have old makeup on, I know. I sealed the tail with zip ties and silicone. I know it is sloppy. Yes, I know. I did the best I could, and silicone is very difficult to work with, in my opinion. Anyhow, so I'm gonna try to finish the sealing here. See, there's still a few gaps. I'm gonna move the zip ties a little bit. Thank God for zip ties. And then I cut off a lot of the underside. It was just too heavy as it was. It's still, this is still maybe 3 pounds, 4 pounds. Honestly, still a little bit too heavy for my liking. I could probably go a little bit thinner. I just wanted to try a bigger design for once. So this is the best I could do. So I'm going to pour those molds, and then I will probably resume this once we're attaching those pieces. If I were to redesign this, which I will be for version 5, I'd probably make one big ass mold for both the underside and top side. That way I can kind of pour it all at once and maybe have a separator in between, then seal the seam, and then have one seam to seal instead of two. The two seams to seal is kind of making it hard to, I should have just added silicone to one side and then kept it on its side, but I added it to both sides and then set it on its side, and then obviously, yeah. Live and you learn, you know, mistakes happen. Anyways, still very pretty, still a little bit too heavy for my liking, but it's as good as it can be with the design that I did, so I'm still happy with it, which is good. Anyways, time to get this finished up, but we'll resume this once I'm attaching the belt plate and the tailpiece. I'm not gonna film casting them because it's just gonna take more time. Tail plate, pretty good. So this is going to be obviously attached right there. I'm probably going to do another coat of silicone because the way I designed it is for the belt, for it to be all kind of looking like one piece. That way I don't have to worry about constantly having to reattach the belt if I make it super, you know, intact to the tail. Because one problem I've always had with all the other versions I've done is I've always had to redo the tail mounting mechanism on that version in the V3 that I currently use for filming. But this one designed it to, I also have a little emoji up there. Aww. Anyway, yeah, no, I put a little ridge and I'm sealing it in with silicone. The belt itself is silicone, so it should fuse all together. I don't know if there's a different kind of silicone, which this one won't fuse, but I think it will be fine. Amazon said it was a silicone belt, so it's a lot sturdier than the last ones too, which is good. And I like how it meshes to my back. I am going to, it was a little bit too long, so I'm going to use the hole pattern that I cut off to drill some new holes when I finally get it attached. But for attaching it, I'm probably going to do another layer of silicone on here before I do the attaching method. But when I am ready to attach it, it's just going to go right on like that, basically. That way the engrave stays inside, so it's kind of see-through, and then it can get fused on there. So that's the idea. That's the idea. And it's got hair getting delayed another day because like I said, I was not happy with this. Like, it's decent, but it's got some problems. It's got a lot of problems, which is, thank God I have so much spare material. That's my box of wasted silicone that I will be using to make more molds with in the future. So it's not going to waste, but it's, you know, mistakes from this project, because you gotta make mistakes to learn, everyone. You gotta make a lot of mistakes to learn. Anyway. Oh God. And yeah, anyway. God, I'm trying to tighten this. Okay, anyway. What is wrong with this thing? Really quick, why my next mold is printing. So hopefully this will be done in a day. The third day in a row I said it will be done tomorrow. It's always gonna be done tomorrow, right? It's always gonna be one more day. See, this is why I can never estimate anything in my life. You think this is easy now? Imagine 0-point energy devices. It'll be done tomorrow. It'll be done tomorrow. Anyhow, so printing new molds, because this one is alright. Like, I love the shape. The shape is, this is actually like the third time. I actually lost track how many times I designed the shape. Too many. But what is the problem with this? Look at this, and then look at that. I guess it's upside down now, but so yeah. Look at this, and then look at that. I'm just gonna put them beside one another. There's a problem here. One of these things is not like the other. They don't go together. You know, one thing is a lot more meticulously designed. I spent way more time on that, like a few weeks. And I spent a few days, if not like a day, on that. This looks like shit. That looks decent. So, I redesigned the tail. And another thing is, I neglected symmetry. Because with this one, I am sandwiching two of them together. And if you don't flip it along, you know, the axis of your symmetry, then you'll get things that look like this, you know. This is, you know, my first layer. Then if I were to put this on, you know, it's unaligned, which is not bad. Like, this is a cool look, don't get me wrong. Like, I even considered just using it like that. Like, I even considered keeping the asymmetry because I think it looks pretty. But I reprinted the mold. Now I'm gonna have two halves, so it is gonna be symmetrical. And I made a few slight changes to the size, shape, and I added a few more layers to try to get it to be cohesive. Hopefully it goes well. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Quite frankly, I am very pissed. I am very pissed. This project got like initially extended by a day, but quite frankly it's getting extended by 2 weeks at the moment because that was the final tail. Like, dude, the end of the tail, the last piece I need, right there. This is still sealing. That is a bitch to seal, by the way, because I have to glue a circle onto a cylinder with silicone glue, which sets in like 75 minutes, so it's being really annoying, but it's getting there. As for this, dude, this print, like, that was the first version, which wasn't good enough, so I started printing again. This is the third attempt at me just getting the mold out, and it has failed every time, which is, you know, and I re-sliced it too. Like, I even redid the print file several times, and every time it fails. Like, I don't know why. I've run out of ideas. The first time, it skipped off the track for some reason, and it started printing the layers out of alignment, which was super fucking weird. The second time, it just, like, completely power shut off and lost the print job. This is the third run, and it got to 92%. It was supposed to be done today. I was supposed to pour the tail today and seal it, and it would have been done by the next day. But the print filament literally broke and detached. I don't know how, like, probably while I was sleeping, the print filament broke. So it got to like 92%. In reality, this is like stuck at 30%. And I can't go back, so this is another wasted print. Another wasted print. I don't even know if I should try to do this one anymore. Like, I like the look, but I feel like after this many fails, it's like, I feel like the universe is telling me just to sculpt the tail out of modeling clay now. And then just pour a silicone mold with the spare silicone, and hopefully I have enough. I don't know if I'll have enough for that, so I have to decide. But this is rather aggravating because that is another day gone. Another day gone. I might just make this by hand, honestly. Like, the printing is getting so annoying, and I don't even know if I'd like it anyway. Like, I could make a cooler one by hand. Like, I could make it equally cool in 3D modeling, but it would just take, you know, forever. I could just carve one in like a few hours. So I think we're gonna carve it. God, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I figured out that I re-spooled the thread wrong. I had it over the top, and that was causing too much tension for it to print properly. And I reminded myself this when I was about to fall asleep at like 3 a.m. the other day. So it's like 24 hours later, and we got good prints. Ooh! I am happy, and we're gonna pour it, and that is drying and sealing nicely, so it's almost done. And as for the modeling, I will use this for something. I am not sure what yet. Maybe I'll make little horns out of those. I don't know what I will do with that yet. Maybe I'll carve another tail end just in case this one doesn't work out. But this should be the last step. I hope. Thank God. It's been a long video. It's been a long video. Hello. You might be wondering why the shot looks 1,000 times better right now. Well, it's about 6 a.m. 7 a.m. now maybe. That's drying nicely, and that's drying. I had a little bit of an issue with this one, but it's working okay. And if you're wondering why the shot looks different, well, this part of the video is for that reason. I think I mentioned at the start of this that a good amount of this project, was sped up ahead of time. Like, I was going to do this anyway. I was going to make this thing anyway when I got the money and pieces, and it probably would have taken me a really long time. I'm fortunate enough to have a fan. I didn't know if they wanted to be named in this, but not only did they provide majority of the materials for this project, I think the only thing I really funded was the silicone and silicone paint. Not only did they fund that, but they also funded me the 3D printer I used to make precision molds, and they also funded me all these materials to make other cosplay things with, and they funded me this camera lens, which is why the shot is 1,000 times better than I think I've ever had them framed before. And they also funded me new equipment for streaming, and something that I'm truly grateful for, my very first caliper for myself for 3D modeling and makeup and other things that I've been using for my daily routines, filming, and overall cosplay and work, just trying to be a public figure for UFO disclosure. So, I don't know if they want to be named in this video. I will ask them, and if they say yes, I'll put their name right here. Thank you to you. I cannot thank you enough. I really can't. I woke up today to a knock on my door from Amazon at like 6 a.m. Which was fine because I was already awake filling out, the fucking mold anyway. But I was not expecting this lens. I was not expecting... They told me they wanted to help me with my audio solution for my stream, so I was expecting a microphone, but I was not expecting all of this. They have surprised me more times than I thought possible, and quite frankly, like over these past few weeks, I've had quite a few people just in general whether they, you know, supported me through monetary ways or gifts like this through my Amazon wish list, or just sent me a message. Like, I've had people this past week send me messages saying, like, you know, they've been a fan of mine for a long time, and I never thought I would be in a position in my life to where I'd have fans, which is shocking for me. So it makes me teary-eyed because it's like I never thought I could do any of this. Everyone in my life always told me I couldn't do this shit, which is why I did it. Which is why I did it. You know, the cosplay, the porn, the music, and the UFOs at the same time. So, to anyone that's ever liked my work, even if you never even sent me a message, or I guess especially to the ones that funded me, because, you know, that's like a miracle to me. I just want to take this small moment to really say fucking thank you. I don't know what else to say. I might even upload this little segment separately, because I'll keep it in the cosplay video, but I want to really let people know I do appreciate any support, really. Even if it's just like a follow. Even if it's just a message to me saying that you thought, you know, you enjoyed my work in one way or another. Even if I don't respond to them, I'm sorry. I get a lot of messages each week, and I'm obviously have my hands tied making as much as I can. So I think that covers it for now. Here's to more vlogs at better quality. If you've noticed an increase in the quality of all of the, you know, production equipment and stuff, you can thank the supporter of this video. So, thank you again to them, and thank you to anyone that's ever appreciated the shit I do. There's only, like I said, one way forward for this planet to get to, you know, zero poverty, zero pollution, zero war, zero, you know, energy pollution at the very least, because we're not using fossil fuels. And I do believe, as Greer's put it, is the problem today is a social one. So thank you to all of you for helping me, because the only way anybody fixes those problems on this planet is by everyone becoming aware of it. You can't fix it if you don't know it exists. So, here's to that. Here's to more content from me. I will be continuing to make YouTube vids, now better focal lengths, and I will be streaming still for the time being until I don't need to anymore. I do like streaming, but don't get me wrong, I think my time is better spent sometimes doing other things. Anyhow, I think that's it for now, and my god, I'm happy they woke me up at 6 a.m. because that sunrise is beautiful. And sometimes I don't see it. But yeah, I'm going to finish this now. So, have a good one. I will talk to you again when we're done with the drawing of that and the attachment of that. So yeah. I think that's it. I'm sorry, it's taking me a while. It's just, I'm very fucking, like I've said it many times, I'm very fucking fortunate Like, you know, a lot of me feels like I don't deserve it. But I have it, so I will make the most of it. Okay, yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna continue finishing this project. Bye, and thank you again to all my supporters, no matter who you are, no matter if it's just enjoying what I make, whatever that is, or whether it be sending me things to help me. Thank you. Always have to do such an apology with the rough intros on the outro. The rough outros I film anyhow. So, I know white lipstick is kind of weird. I wanted to try it, but I don't know if I like it. Maybe not with the black. I don't know. Well, we'll do it today. I kind of like it. But anyhow, this is the tail. It is done. Oh, it is done. Honestly, okay. Honest thoughts and opinions now. I love it. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. I do love it, but it has a few problems. So, if you see where we started, this is version 1, the white one. And that's version, technically version 1 was this one off of Amazon. So this is technically version 2, this white one. Here, I'll do it individually. So version 2, I'd say that was about, I don't know, a 2 on a scale from 1 to 10. And then version 3, this was about, I'd say a 3 or a 4. On a scale from 1 to 10, really a 3. Still at the same place, just kind of changed the process how I did it. Now compared to those two, this one is like an 8 on a scale from 1 to 10. But in reality, this one I'm probably gonna have to give a 6 or a 7 if I'm being generous. Why do I say that? I love the design. It is a little heavy for me. So version 4 now. This is version 4. This I probably give a in comparison to those, this is definitely an 8. I changed so much, like I completely overhauled, you know, articulated design, actual scaling, and silicon, and it does glow in the dark too. I don't know if we can get a good shot of that in this video. I'll try to get one. But, yeah. It is sturdy. I do have to find a way to seal this, because I want it watertight. And I know Amazon said this belt was silicone, but it's apparently a kind of silicone that doesn't bind to the silicone I'm using very well. See? So there's gaps. Like, it's very secure on me because I've literally cemented it into the structure, but it's not watertight. So I'll have to experiment a little bit with getting it sealed properly. I've already tried like 3 different epoxies, and I'm at a day where I'm just like, screw it. We're just gonna use it as it is for today. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep working on it, just I won't add it in the video. But in overall, not in comparison to those, I'm gonna have to give it a 6 or a 7. even though I want it to be higher. The reason is weight mainly. I can try to cut down the weight a little bit more by shaving some silicone off of the underside here, even though it is really heavy, but it's gonna be too heavy for long-term, like, whole day wear, probably, unless I strengthen my lower back a ton. But I already have so many design improvements that I want to do for the next model that I'm probably going to have to give it a 6 or 7. Version 5, I am probably going to begin designing in my free time right now. I already have the plans for it in my head, and the process of which we do this is going to change quite a bit. So, stay tuned for that and more cosplay stuff from me if you want to see more Scalie stuff or more cosplay in general. I might be doing a few characters, maybe revisiting some that I've done in the past. So yeah, we will see. I think we're gonna leave it there for now for this video. Thank you again to Finding for allowing me to do this on time and ahead of schedule. If it wasn't for Finding's support, this video would have come out way later. So, thank you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.